Hello there, I'm Avery Anderson, and today we have the two lovely ladies from Girls Only, opened last night at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. So why don't you guys just start by introducing yourselves to our audience?
I am Barbara Gehring.
And I am Linda Klein. And Barbara and I are truly really good friends, but we are also professional writers, and we've worked together on comedy for now almost 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as friends, we met each other as adults. So if we had known each other when we were 12 years old, Girls Only is exactly the show that we would have written together.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think this is such an amazing show. So Avenue Theater starts at 2008. You guys do a run there, and then the Denver Center picks it up for 2 whole years, and now you're touring. Like, what is it like to get to do this sort of show as like a homegrown show, basically?
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to showcase your talents and your own material is really unique. We don't take it for granted. We love touring the country and feeling that same crazy energy from all those women. It's pretty wonderful to do this as a career for a job and go home at night and go, wow, that was really fun.
What makes it so fun?
Well, you know, what we discovered taking the show around the country is that women are women.
Yeah.
And no matter where we are, the show creates this bond in the room between a bunch of women. Oftentimes we refer to it as a girlhood reunion.
Yeah.
Because women realize, like, oh, I was a girl. Oh, you were a girl? Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys wrote the show from personal experiences based on your
Correct.
guys' diaries,
Yeah.
correct?
So we're writers and actresses, and we found our diaries. We shared them with each other. We were like, immediately, this could be a show. And actually, that was in 2004.
Okay.
And we did it as a one night, and standing ovation. We were backstage, and we went, we have something here. We left it for 2 years.
Okay.
I had my daughter Isabella, and then when we started looking at what we wanted to do, it was like, let's go see what this is.
Yeah.
So we honed it, and then, as you said, we did it at the Avenue Theater. We took it internationally to Canada, and then we were like, yeah, let's start scripting this, writing it down, because it was originally created out of improv.
Okay.
And then the rest is kind of history. I mean, the Denver Center heard about it. Randy Weeks was our hero, our champion, and he said, we should be looking at this.
Yeah.
And he signed us without having seen the show. And he was,
Wow.
he came to see it at the Avenue once it was signed, and he was in the tech booth, Randy Weeks in the back, watching the show.
Cool. And can you guys share anything from your diaries? I know it's locked, but I
Oh,
mean...
yes. Well, actually, mine is quite public. There is no lock.
Okay.
I was a little less private than Barbara. But I think for sort of my perspective on the diary was I just sort of wrote what happened. I didn't necessarily write about a lot of feeling. I probably still wouldn't today if I was keeping a diary. So I find this one just telling of the times in which I wrote this.
Okay.
Dear Dennis, that was the name of my diary. Dear Dennis, Mom gave me a perm today. That was all I wrote.
That was it. Yeah, just
We
very...
don't know how that ended up.
Good, bad. Yeah.
Mine's a 5-year diary. This
Okay.
is my original diary. I got it when I was 10 years old. And as you can see, it's very earmarked here.
Yes.
But this one I think speaks to the feelings of being that 10-year-old little girl.
Okay.
It's, this was from February 14th. It was Valentine's Day. Today was an unlucky day. Nothing happened to me. And yet I go on.
Yeah.
We went tobogganing. I gave Dougie this Valentine, and he started laughing, and he gave it back to me.
Oh.
But the thing, I am such a loser. I kept it.
Yeah, what is
Who
that?
keeps that? Like, why would I keep? And I'll
It's a
put it in my
heartbreak.
diary. Like, oh, that broke my heart. Let's save that.
Are you ever going to try and give it to him again one day?
Fun idea.
Who knows?
like
I don't really care about him anymore, actually.
But just like now that I'm successful and I have a show, like, do you want it? You know,
Yeah,
look
it
at
could
me
be.
now.
Who knows?
So this comedy has so many topics in it, very womanly, lady topics. We talk about, which as a man, I'm like, all right. We talk about menstrual cycles sometimes in the show and breastfeeding. So why does this make perfect comedy material?
Well, you know, one of the reasons that the stuff that ended up in the show, because Barbara and I said to each other, when are we most vulnerable? When are the moments where we maybe don't look that great? So that, you know, like with the pantyhose, we do a dance in pantyhose. And because putting on pantyhose, no one looks good putting on pantyhose. Once you have them on, okay. But putting them on, you're a mess. And so we
No.
looked for those kind of moments in womanhood and girlhood.
And I think to add to that, we are we're looking at what is something that's universal for everyone. So it's a very personal show made that's very universal, made personal. So people come and go, that's a show about me. And it is. It is about them. It is about their youthfulness. And everyone loves to look back. They like to be nostalgic. And the women after the show are like, oh, my diary, my memory box, my, me putting on pantyhose. Lots of men go, my girlfriend, my wife, my mother. They have, that's exactly my life.
Yeah.
So men get it.
So men even relate to it as well.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, you guys are friends, you've known each other for a little bit here, but obviously you guys enjoy working together, Girls Only. You also did Lost Travelers a little bit ago with the Denver Center, and you have a new show you guys are working on, a lot of L's in it, so you have to help me out with that.
It's Love Stuck at Loveland Lodge.
Okay. And so talk about what's it like working with each other? Why do you guys enjoy working with each other so much?
I think it's because we really get who each other are. We know what we bring to the table. We know how to access what our assets are, but we have different assets. And that's what makes us a good team, because we don't bring exactly the same thing to the table. And then working with other people, we have learned over the years of how to get things done, be successful, how to take an idea and move forward with it. And we're tenacious about it. And so because we both have that instinct, it's what we bring to any partnership that we agree to work on.
Sure. And I think this show is so amazing because it's a show with an all-female cast. There are not very many shows like that. I mean, there's roughly only like a little over 300, which is like, I know, which equates to like only like 3% of all theatrical shows have an all-female cast. So what is it like to get to be part of that 3%, to have an all-female writing team, all-female performers?
Well, there's a certain magic that happens in a room full of women, and it's hard to explain, but it's like this connection. I think women are sort of hardwired to want to connect with each other. Who's here with me? Who can help? Who's on my side? And that's just how we function in the world. So when you give people an opportunity to get in, we immediately make them relaxed, and then just to have fun together, everyone just settles a little bit, and the audience becomes kind of a team.
Yeah.
And that makes it really special. And I think with a mixed audience, which would, a mixed cast would, you'd have a mixed audience, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Why do you think there's not more shows with an all-female cast in them?
Well, maybe there is a stigma, I think, of what comedy should be. Sketch comedy is certainly things that have inspired us. We're never all female, but I think it takes a special connection to your idols as a kid to be able to pursue that and go, well, that's what I want to put out in the world. Where Carol Burnett, for me, also the cast of SCTV, which was Catherine O'Hara and Andrea Martin. Those are women like I remember going, I want to do that. Yeah. So I think it has to be an innate thing. Also, I would say Linda and I do not feel any pressure whatsoever to adhere to this idea that comedy has to be vulgar or go to the lowest common denominator or be masculine in itself. And when I see it, it's not funny for me, so it's not what we perform. And so I think that's stepping out of that zone and going, we can be funny and we can still be women, so.
So I've heard that the show and the atmosphere of the night is described as a slumber party. As a man, I've never been to a slumber party.
Oh, it's going to happen.
So that's my question. Should men go to this show? Are men even allowed to go to this show?
And men are absolutely allowed. And I know the title might suggest otherwise, but any guy who's ready to come to a show called Girls Only, he's the perfect guy to be there. And he's got the heart in the right place. And I think what the difference is, women understand the show here. And guys get the show here, but they both have a comedy show experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've also heard that this show helps men understand women a little bit more.
Every night, I have to say, every show, we've taken the show to 30 different cities. It's been seen by over 200,000 women nationwide. I would say every single night, there is a woman that says to one of us, oh, I need to bring my husband to see this. Oh, more men should come to this. More men would understand women if they came to see this. And we also had a man who came back with, I guess, the sisters all went, and then they came home, brought their brother, and he was sitting in the front row, and he started the standing ovation because he has 6 sisters.
So
he was like, this was my life, and it was honoring his his childhood
Very
as
cool.
well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Is there a man at some point in your diaries or in your life that you would have wished had seen this show so they could get it a little bit more?
Dougie Warner.
Well,
You
my
know?
diary is named after my first boyfriend. Dear Dennis, yeah, that was a real guy. I don't know that he knows that he's been heard by over 200,000 women.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting.
So if Dennis and Dougie are watching, they need to come see Girls Only.
Yeah, they would learn a few things,
things.
just so that they could help their daughters
Yes.
not get heartbroken.
Oh,
No, I'm over it now. I am.
we've
I'm
moved
good.
on. We've
I'm
moved on
good.
from Dennis and Dougie. So I really want to know if, in an alternate universe, you two were not the ones to write this show. Who's maybe the two female celebrities you could see helming this show?
Oh my gosh.
That's
hard.
neat question. They have to be. Does it have
wow.
to be something from now, like Tina
don't
Fey?
think so. No, it's up to you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler kind of come to mind because
Yeah.
they're the duo right now. You know, the
Yeah.
dynamic duo. But I feel like there's so much Carol Burnett in the show.
And Mary Tyler Moore, Carol
Yeah.
Burnett, and if he was female.
Bob Newhart.
Bob
Yeah,
Newhart.
he was my idol. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little mix. I would kind of love to see if like Catherine O'Hara and Andrea Martin had written this.
cool.
Actually, I would love for them to see the show because it's that thing of thank you for what you did to inspire me, Carol Burnett, and these lovely improvisers that made me want to do what they did so effortlessly. So what a treat that would be, you know.
Exactly. And my last question for you before I let you go is why should people come see Girls Only? All people.
All people. Because
I was just going to mention the part about its innocence. It taps into an innocent part of ourselves, and I think it engenders that quality and unlocks maybe something that a lot of people haven't experienced in a while, adults, and it's a good time for that.
yeah, it's also celebratory. So everything in the show, no one's being made fun of. The humor is all incredibly funny because it's real, it's true, so every single person in the audience can connect to it, no matter if they are an 11-year-old girl or a 95-year-old woman or a middle-aged man. They will connect to it between that celebration part and the fact of its innocence.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
I'm excited to see Girls Only. I think
Yeah,
it's going
me
to be
too.
great.
Can't wait to have you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.